Complete ceiling for Boluminski Highway in 2018. The government to secure green climate funds. And PNG's Prime Minister's 13 team announced.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me with Thursday's news. The sealing of the remaining 30-kilometre road on the Boluminski Highway in New Ireland is expected to be completed in August 2018. The section of the highway is between Pinati village in Kavieng district and Paul village in Namatanai. Works Minister Michael Nally and Works Secretary David Were were in the province to inspect the current roadworks by Dekanai Construction.
This is the first ministerial visit by Minister Nally and Secretary Vele after the formation of the new government. The visit was to check the progress of the current roadworks, inspect the quality of materials used, and ensure the sealing is completed on time.
So the material that you see here, this is a better material than the river rocks, river gravels. Because the river gravels, you see that the surface is smooth, so that cannot grip the base of the road material itself.
Boluminski remains the oldest but well-maintained highway in Papua New Guinea. It was designed and constructed by the German colonial administrator Franz Boluminski between 1901 and 1906. The 260-kilometer road is an important link connecting people in the two New Island districts.
Important is you have to keep maintaining attending to potholes and drainage and vegetation control in a timely manner. You see the long-term benefits of keeping the performance of this road always in a better condition. So there's no magic about it. Timely maintenance with enough funding is the basis of seeing a better road network throughout the country.
Boluminski is one of the 16 priority national roads that the government has invested in sealing and maintaining. And because limestone was used in the construction of the road, Minister Nally explains that it will be less expensive to maintain compared to other national highways.
I will travel right throughout the country to see the road myself with Secretary and of course some senior officers from the department, because we need that information. We can't operate from Wagani. We need that information to help us plan our works program.
Solomon Pella, the works provincial manager, said civil engineers and contractors are working section by section to seal the remaining 30-kilometer road. The other focus is on building proper bridges and ensuring that the highway lasts for a longer period.
As far as the works of the roads are ongoing, we also have bridge work that are complementing. So you have a good seal section of the Boluminski Highway and we also have good new bridges to complement that.
Tekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Public servants in Pomio district of East New Britain will now access a new office facility. The building is an improvement to house public servants, says Pomio MP Elias Kapavore, so that development plans are implemented for the people. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill officiated at the event.
Pomio district is one of the least developed districts of East New Britain. In the past 10 years, people have struggled with limited road access, poor health facilities and minimum attention on vital infrastructure. Serving his second term, Pomio MP Elias Kapavore was joined by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, East New Britain Governor, the Australian High Commissioner and other stakeholders to signify the opening of the new Pomio district office. The Prime Minister was given an inspection parade before the opening of the office complex. The local MP believes the office will help the district's public service mechanism.
Baat mo ito public servant di wukod sa sinakot kublo office. How the public servant di wukod sa sinakot kublo office? We must build a good office for them.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill says the establishment of the District Development Authority framework is a move to see government funding reach the lowest level of government.
That is why government by me work sends him this way model where now you may not making sure some resources and funding must go straight to the people through their District Development Authority. Tesla must come up strong yet.
The district office was built using development levies from logging and oil palm establishments in the district.
Okay. Hooray! 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 Office now open.
The office will house all divisions in the Pomio district workforce. Jack Lapave Jr., National MTV News.
The government is working closely with UNDP to secure funding from the Green Climate Fund for a hazard project worth $27 million. The project is to develop a multi-hazard early warning system. A workshop was held yesterday for project stakeholders to validate and agree on the project's different activities.
The government, through the Climate Change and Development Authority, is trying to secure green climate funds for its new project. The proposed project, called Strengthening Multi-Sectoral Adaptation Responses to Climate-Related Information or Smart Climate, aims to develop a multi-hazard early warning system. UNDP representative Tracy Vennings says if there is an early warning system in place, this can help many in the country prepare for disasters and adapt to climate change.
We need in Papua New Guinea, and what this project is trying to do is to set up a system where you can have an early warning system for these kinds of hazards. And if you have that early warning system, and not only that, if it can be communicated effectively to farmers, to business people, to teachers, to schools, to communities living along living along rivers and near the sea, if they can get that information early enough, then they can prepare so that they don't suffer the loss of lives, the loss of food, and the loss of income that they have been suffering. So in a nutshell, really, that is what this project is trying to do.
However, according to the CCDA, Green Climate Fund is not easy to obtain for small island countries such as Papua New Guinea. The funds will go a long way in supporting the country's adaptation to climate change.
Negotiated at the international level with most of the small island developing states and the LDCs, passionately talking about how approval process for the green climate finance can be simplified and how adaptation and mitigation projects can be mainstream. And that's, in Papua New Guinea, that's pretty much the focus of our role as the NDA. We want to engage with stakeholders so that we can get your technical expertise and we can get your experiences on the ground in terms of how we can develop a project pipeline and come up with a concept note or a project proposal. I'm pleased to also announce as well that we've submitted our readiness proposal. So we're looking at strengthening our capacity internally while performing our role as the NDA. And for this particular project that we all gathered here to discuss and validate, we are pleased to have this discussion move hand in hand with the readiness support that we will be receiving shortly.
The workshop saw stakeholders from the National Weather Service, National Maritime Safety Authority, SEPA, Department of Agriculture and NARI, and members of the Adaptation Technical Working Group. Meanwhile, in a separate interview today, Deputy Prime Minister Charles Abel says CCDA should push for funding and take advantage that there is money available.
I'm happy that they've come up finally with that submission. We've been talking about it for some time. There's a lot of money available for countries like ours, and I think we, should take more advantage of it.
Merlin Diaukatam, National MTV News.
National Planning Minister Richard Maru has called on the government and development partners to fund an urgent nationwide survey on water and sanitation. The minister said it's important to map out vulnerable communities in need of proper water supplies. This will allow the government to plan, implement and monitor the progress on water and sanitation for these communities.
The country's water and sanitation hygiene policy, or WASH,
highlights that by 2030, every Papua New Guinean are expected to have access to improved water and sanitation. Minister Maru says in order to deliver the 2030 target, it is crucial for the government to identify vulnerable communities and deliver on reliable evidence on water and sanitation needs.
So over the next 3 to 4 months, the national government will, together with our provincial government, provincial administration, carry out a WAS survey throughout our country. We need to identify how many children, how many communities have safe water and not safe water, so that we can then develop a plan in partnership with donors like European Union, JICA, and others to roll out a program where over the next 10 to 15 years, we want to make sure every village, every district town, every provincial town has safe water and sanitation in.
According to a 2017 joint monitoring program by the World Health Organization and the UN, only 37% of Papua New Guineans use basic water services, while the other 63% are exposed to risk of contaminated water. However, Minister Maru says the country can change this by focusing on its development goals and implement strategic policies, which includes a proper database for water and sanitation. Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Australian High Commission has advised the Seasonal Workers Association to work closely with the Labour Department on their mission. The association, led by Lucy Singh, is hoping to secure seasonal jobs for Papua New Guineans in the coming weeks.
The association was recently visited by the Australian High Commission representatives. Dr. Chakaria Bowman, Councillor of Economics representing the Australian High Commission, urged the association to work closely with the Labour Department, who has a division for the Seasonal Workers Visa Program. President of the Seasonal Workers Association, Lucy Singh, says they have made contact with Labour Department and have also invited them to attend their first financial education training graduation.
We have already given him the invitation to Mr. David Arrow, and the Secretary and the Labour Department Minister also too. So they are aware of it.
Recently, the Australian High Commission released a statement saying that they are aware of an organisation who claims they will send seasonal workers to Australia, but says the High Commission only deals with the Department of Labour.
We are women standing on the ground to work together with the Labour.
The members have their passport and ID cards and are only awaiting the seasonal workers visa through the Labour Department. A number of the members of the association see this as a glimmering hope of income.
Supporting 5 pingin stap big plus school na university na ready loglo university. Me go on this hard time through na even though me la market, but I'm needing money to regenerate.
You provide him big job opportunity long young women and women like myself.
Me got big interest. So me come in, me registered, and now me look forward, look down, any lick money.
PNG Masave or some this organization start bringing benefit come the country blem.
Me one plus street monkey, me no got one plus walk, me no got one benefit blom me. Gapmon na got look sawe blom me na me sa round the street pani walk round but me no sa pani one plus walk. Me blow boys me blow come stop line me blow to think it through me blow no got one plus.
But now it all depends on whether the Department of Labour will be able to help the organisation or not. Adelaide Siraks Kari, National EMTV News.
Women in politics have been faced with challenges such as logistics and were even intimidated by male candidates during the elections. This was stated by researchers from the National Research Institute Gender Program. NRI's gender team have been conducting researches to determine the factors that affected women in politics and how to improve.
The gender program from NRI have been doing research on women in politics. This year, 165 women contested the national general elections out of 3,332 candidates. The outcomes of not having any women being elected into parliament has become a topic of interest. The gender team is now conducting a case study on 3 female candidates in the Morobe province.
Now, why that was chosen is because we have 3 criteria that we've 3 study criteria. One was to look at a women candidate that was a current MP then, a candidate that has stood before and have come back to stand again, who have lost and come back, and a new candidate, a new female candidate.
According to studies conducted in Phase 1, female candidates were faced with issues of logistics, intimidation, and money politics.
Women voters tend to be intimidated by their male counterparts. So male counterparts sort of influence their choices in choosing their candidate.
The outcome of the election is now being studied to see how female participation in politics can be improved. The 3 candidates from Ley and the Hugh and Gulf district, as well as their supporters, are being engaged in the study. Mary Firio said women need to prepare 5 to 10 years in advance before standing for elections.
Candidates running for election, women candidates, increasing over the years in the nation, but we're not getting the numbers in parliament. So the big question and the problem is, why are women not elected?
Lucy Kopana, National MTV News, Ley.
Airline operator PNG Air will continue to implement its strategy of developing its network of scheduled services across the country and improving the quality of services. Chief Executive Officer Murali Siva, while announcing 2017 half-year results, says they will improve results and keep this strategy working.
PNG Air's 2017 half-year results show a significant increase by nearly 27% of increased passenger revenue. As a result of the growth, the airline reduced its operating losses before abnormal items and tax by more than 50% compared to the first half of 2016 to 12.83 million kina. Despite the continued softening of the country's economy, the airline is striving in moving forward with its new modern ATR aircraft and products. Siva says little new activity in the resources sector, foreign exchange issues, and the fact the airline is still transitioning prevented them from achieving profitability this year. But with stability in government, the economy and resource sector are expected to grow. Mr. Siva says PNG Air, with its youngest in-country fleet and increased capacity, is in the right position to benefit from such opportunities like providing all aviation services for Newcrest mining. Fabian Haklitz, National MTV News.
The Waigani Christian College held its 42nd independence celebrations yesterday. College founder Benjamin Moore says despite being a Christian institution, it aims to uphold PNG's diverse culture on such occasions. Nearly all 22 provinces took part, showcasing various cultural dances and dressing.
Independence celebrations have begun in most education institutions across the country. Yesterday, the Waigani Christian College celebrated with many provincial groups displaying their unique dances. Despite embracing the value of Christianity, founder Benjamin Mull says culture will remain a part of PNG's generations. Thus, the school has engaged students to value the day. Almost all the 22 provinces had students taking part. The Mamose group put an impressive performance with the involvement of a young crocodile. The Asaro madmen also drew some attention with the slow movements, but it was the Manus dancers who stole the show and had the crowd on the toes till afternoon. Sponsors, parents and teachers were also part of the celebrations. Jack Lapava Jr., National MTV News.
And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3125 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.305, $0.3779 Australian dollars, $0.2528 euro, and 33.34 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee, cocoa and copra closed the day higher. Crude oil is trading lower, copper closed lower, while palm oil closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 39.32 points higher, the ASX closed at 5.56 points lower, and the All Ordinaries closed at 5.6 points lower. Stories making headlines overseas when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas, police are investigating the death of 8 elderly people who died at a Florida nursing home which reportedly had power issues after Hurricane Irma. More than 100 residents had to be evacuated after the air conditioning cut out in the middle of a heat wave.
From the air, a cruel scene. Senior citizens still in their beds, rushed to safety. Doctors and nurses surrounding them. A life and death situation at this nursing home, the rehabilitation center at Hollywood Hills. The first sign of trouble came early this morning, an emergency call about a heart attack. But it soon became clear it was much more serious.
The facility called and said that incidents were occurring. Something's going on in the center, unknown how many patients or their injuries.
What came next? An all-out evacuation.
The scene was chaotic when I arrived. We had at least 115 patients that we were trying to evacuate and bring them to safety.
The scope of this tragedy, heartbreaking. 8 people dead, 3 at the nursing home and 5 more later at the hospital. The precise cause to be determined. Several others in the ER tonight suffering from dehydration, respiratory conditions, and heat exhaustion. The nursing home was running on generators since Hurricane Irma hit. The lights on, but no air conditioning. Ellie Pina came to visit her 96-year-old mother here shortly after the hurricane struck.
You went inside. How hot did it feel inside?
It felt like 110, 115 degrees in there.
Could you see the suffering?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
She says she called the power company several times and was told they would take care of it. What's also troubling? The nursing home is just yards away from one of the biggest hospitals in the area.
We're conducting a criminal investigation, not ruling anything out at this time.
Police also looking into whether some of the windows here would not open. Florida's governor says the health department had been in contact with the nursing home over the past 3 days and told them to call 911 if they had any reason to believe the patients were at risk. And tonight, other nursing homes in South Florida now evacuating after the governor ordered first responders to check everyone in the area.
The United Nations have described the humanitarian crisis against Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar as catastrophic. Almost 400,000 Rohingyas have fled across the border to neighboring Bangladesh. The UN Secretary General is calling for military action to be suspended.
More weary Muslim Rohingya people arrive in Bangladesh, fleeing persecution in Buddhist-dominated Myanmar. This is Guduthara in Myanmar. The BBC filmed it in flames last week. The government said the fires were started by Rohingya villagers. We found some of those villagers here in Bangladesh. Basamir and Dilda Begum watched the BBC's pictures of their village. They say the government's version of events is false, and they blame the police and local Buddhists, whom they call Rakhine.
The Rakhine were killing people. Police were shooting. They set fire to our homes. They only killed Muslims. They even killed people as they tried to escape.
Here at the hospital, there are numerous Rohingya patients and their families.
The humanitarian situation is catastrophic.
With the United Nations now openly saying Myanmar is committing ethnic cleansing, how do they react?
I'm happy that this man and the world are talking about us, the Rohingya people. I'm happy and praying for them.
People continue to arrive by any means possible, making their way to safety. But the risks are great. 9 bodies were recovered from the water today. Their final resting place here under this tree on foreign soil.
Prince George's new school is already having a security review after an unattempted breakout. A woman has been arrested on suspicions of attempted burglary and remains in custody.
It
It was such a heartwarming image just 6 days ago. Prince William and 4-year-old Prince George on the first day of school meeting the headmistress. And the principal at Thomas's Battersea School so proud of his new royal charge.
Our aim for him, as well as for all of our pupils, is to provide a safe and secure and a happy environment where he feels supported by a kind and a loving community.
But now the arrest today of a woman in her 40s who gained unlawful access to the school on Tuesday afternoon, raising sharp questions. Prince George was apparently not present when the incident occurred. He goes only in the mornings. Police not releasing the intruder's name, but they're saying the school's security procedures are under review. Days before the school opened, this video posted to Facebook by a local resident showing how she could just walk into the school at night, the doors wide open.
2 flight attendants in Australia have been taken to hospital, one with a broken leg after a Virgin flight from Melbourne to Adelaide hit turbulence. It's a reminder of how safety is important in aviation and the work of flight attendants in saving lives during in-flight.
The frightening incident came without warning for those on board yesterday afternoon. Fortunately, the passengers were already buckled in for landing, but the flight attendants weren't so lucky. The Boeing 737 was on its descent into Adelaide around 5 p.m, flying just over Lake Alexandrina near Goolwa when it hit an air pocket. It went from descending at about 1,000 metres a minute to suddenly climbing 800 metres a minute, jolting the aircraft upward.
Clear air turbulence is something totally different, and it's very, very difficult to pick up.
2 female flight attendants were injured. One suffered a fractured leg. They were taken to the Royal Adelaide and Queen Elizabeth hospitals for treatment. Virgin says safety is its priority, and today the plane's been inspected by engineers before it'll be cleared to return to the skies. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau has launched its own investigation. A leading aviation expert warns we can expect more turbulence-related events.
With climate change, a new study from the University of Reading in the United Kingdom has warned that incidents of severe turbulence are going to treble.
Though we might be in for a bumpier ride, experts say we shouldn't fear it'll increase the number of plane crashes because modern-day aircraft are equipped with the technology to withstand turbulence.
A caesarean appears to be lagging academically, according to an Australian welfare study. Researchers have been looking into the results of NAPLAN's school test involving 5,000 students and found those born by C-section had small delays in their grammar, numeracy, reading and writing skills between the ages of 4 and 9. Why? Well, that is still puzzling, but one suspicion that babies delivered naturally are exposed to different bacteria as they weigh into the world, and that could enhance their brain development. Chukai Sports is next. Stay tuned for details.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The Oil Search Trophy Tour party left Lae for Goroka in the Eastern Highlands province today. The trophy has been a welcome sight throughout its journey so far. Individuals and businesses are having the chance to see and touch the World Cup trophy. The Oil Search team, including our cameraman Andrew Howe, visited Lae Secondary School, Lae Biscuit and other corporate houses yesterday.
After Wow and Bulolo, the Oil Search Trophy Tour continued their journey to Lae Secondary School. Lae Secondary is the first school the trophy visited while on tour.
Morobe province and Lae is the first province that we decided to come and visit outside of Port Moresby. And Lae Secondary, you're the first school for us to come and visit. The trophy, the World Cup Rugby League trophy is the first time that has ever come to Papua New Guinea. And it's going to be with us in Papua New Guinea for the next 30 days.
Here
excited and proud to be a part of the exciting event, as we are privileged to be the chosen school for the Paul Berrien Trophy to pass through before reaching the other selected destination. Some of the best players who have gone to wear the Snakes Tigers, Hunters, Kumul Jumpers, and still will be producing the talented rugby league players in the years to come. On behalf of all the girls in Lay Secondary School, we wish all the Oilsets PNG Orchids all the best.
We are also honored to have the Oilsets PNG Orchid coach from our school, who is none other than Mr. Miles. Your coming to this school is not by mistake, but by nature. Lay Secondary School and Lay School Boys Rugby League are very much humbled by your choosing us to be part of this historic PNG tour. Our biggest thanks to you, Oilsets Company, for making it possible for unfortunate, less privileged and outraged PNG to see this World Cup.
It is a great honor, and we are humbled to be the historic team to go on a world scene for the first time. For they have not seen, and they have not heard, for they shall be the witness. Thank you, Oilsets. Thank you, Papua New Guinea. We have a female team, the PNG Oilsets Orchids.
From Lay Secondary, the trophy made its way to the Lay Eriku Oval, where people had the opportunity to take pictures of the trophy. From Eriku Oval, the trophy made its way down to Lay Biscuit Company. After Lay Biscuit, the trophy visited SP Brewery, where workers had the opportunity to take pictures with the cup. Their last stop was Mapai Transport. The trophy left Lay City and travelled to Goroka today. Elijah Levette, National, EMTV Sports.
The excitement and hype of the SP-PNG Hunters, as well as the forthcoming Rugby League World Cup, have prompted entrepreneurs to capitalize on their business. League is a wholly nationally owned label that wants to partner with sporting bodies and help generate income through merchandising. Their Rugby League merchandise has reached new heights with patriotism, especially at this time with the independence celebrations and the Hunters Grand Final looming. EMTV caught up with the directors who aim to create sports and fashionable casual wear that is of quality and accessible to Papua New Guineans.
Got the merchandising rights to produce supporter gear only for the PNG RFL. In our case, we're doing the merchandise for the PNG SP Hunters as well as the PNG RFL Kumuls. We've got merchandise that's already out in the shops. We've got our retailers, Jacks of PNG, that are currently the exclusive retailers right now, based out of Moresby only.
With price range in mind, and we've got a maximum spend of up to 129 kina for our jerseys and minimum 20 kina for t-shirts. So there's about 9 different products we have with the Hunters range at the moment. And that's our price range. We think that suits the everyday rugby league supporter.
The PNG NGCB Prime Minister's 13 team was announced today at the National Football Stadium. The team consists of a good mixture of players from the Intercity Cup with a few players from the SP PNG Hunters.
They have been consistently.
4 Hunters players have been selected, with most of the players selected from the Intercity Cup competition. Overseas-based players could not be named due to injury and others attending to finals football.
Nene McDonald, he still has a Sony, James Sibiaro, he's just got a revisit
at the hospital with his arm that he broke there, so he's finished playing last weekend. Kato Tio, he just basically said he wanted to have a rest, work with the physio, and then come up fresh for the World Cup. So the other boys, the Rod Griffin, Rhys Martin, they're still playing finals football.
Because coach Michael Maroon will be busy preparing the Hunters for the ISC Grand Final, Snacks Tigers coach Stanley Teppen will lead the team on game day. PNG RFL chairman Sandy Saka had the privilege of announcing the NGCB PNG PM's 13 team.
Number 2, Charlie Simon of the Tigers. Number 3, Dilbert Isaac of the Rubal Gurias. Number 4, Eddie Duffer of the Lanis. Number 5, Jason Mission Gurias. Number 6, Joe Joseph Tigers. Number 7, John Andy Tigers. Number 8, Joshua Nane Miox. Number 9, Junior Rao Wigman. Number 10, Junior Rob Tigers. Number 11, Karo Kauna Junior Hunters. Number 12, Muka Pitakulu Hunters. Number 13, Silas Gauna Hunters. Number 14, Stanford Talita Wigman. Number 15, Stanley Olo Gurias. Number 16, Timothy Lomai Tigers. Number 17, Tuvi Lepan Gurias. Number 18, William Mone Hunters.
PNG RFL is confident the team will put up a good fight. National Gaming Control Board has supported the PM's 13 for a couple of years and has come on board again this year. NGCB CEO Imelda Agon says they're proud to support the PM's 13 with the main message to stop violence against women. She says the PM's 13 concept also sets a platform for rugby league in the country to prosper over the years.
Regardless of whatever turns out on the 23rd, it's a platform for Papua New Guinea to stand on in terms of rugby league. So thank you so much, and we are all behind Papua New Guinea in this regard, and Team Kumu.
Saka thanked NGCB for their continuous support for rugby league and the PM's 13.
Support that Imelda and the board at the NGCB has provided to rugby league has helped us to invest in, not at the elite level, but at the grassroots level, to bring the game to this levels.
The Prime Minister's 13 match will be played on the 23rd of September at the National Football Stadium. Elijah Levet, National EMTV Sports.
A big injury blow for Brisbane Broncos. They will be missing Darius Boyd tomorrow. Boyd trained this morning, but soon after the session was ruled out of tomorrow night's knockout against the Panthers. Penrith made their way to Brisbane early this afternoon ahead of the showdown at the Suncorp Stadium. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To basketball, Rosa Kyrie, a young member of the PNG women's basketball, is on the verge of making her 5th appearance in the national colours. The Gulflash trains week in, week out and has her eyes set on lifting the FIBA Melanesian Cup title at the end of this month.
Rosa Kyrie represented Papua New Guinea twice with the junior squad and 2 times with the senior side. The 2015 Pacific Games was Kyrie's first international event on home soil.
Much better improved performance in this.
This was Kyrie's greatest moment, playing at home with the support of her family and friends.
Overwhelming, I feel proud playing here, for the second time. It will be fun and I will give my very best to play.
At 20, Kyrie draws inspiration from her auntie, who was also a PNG representative back in the days when Rosa was just a kid growing up in the suburbs of Ho'ola.
She's a PNG rep in the 1991 Pacific Games.
Coming from a family of 4, Kyrie plays basketball throughout her childhood days and continues to impress in the international scene for Papua New Guinea. With a crop of talent in the team from the 2015 Pacific Games, Kyrie takes pride in playing alongside her cousin, who is also in the men's national team.
I have my brother over there, Charles Parapa. Yeah, he's my cousin.
The soft-spoken point guard from Gulf Province is certain her team is capable of causing an upset to the tournament favourites Fiji and New Caledonia at home. Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
To rugby, the Commanders' Cup was launched today by PNG Commander Gilbert Toropo and Defence Minister Solan Merisim at Laguna Hotel in Port Moresby. The three-day tournament will kick off on the 10th to the 12th of October, which will see 10 teams from various units in the PNG Defence Force Battalion compete for the Commanders' Cup.
The PNG Defence Force Commanders Cup is set to kick off next month, with 10 rugby union teams within the PNG DF Battalion taking part in a three-day event. Lieutenant Colonel and CEO of the Air Transport Wing Division, Eddie Miro, along with his comrades, revived the event which has been dormant for some time with the help of corporate partners.
The team from Kina Bank, the comrade trustees, TISA, thank you for gracing us with 50,000 Kina. Chief of CSP, they have graced us with 100,000 Kina.
Present at the occasion was Defence Minister Solan Merisim.
Commanders Cup must be maintained as a regular event for PNG Defence Force and fully supported.
Acknowledging the initiative by PNG DF Commander, the Minister gave his support by assisting all the participating teams with 10,000 Kina each.
I therefore wish to announce that Minister's Office will support all the participating teams with 10,000 each.
The commander, in his remarks, said this gives the opportunity for soldiers to interact with each other, both on and off the field, when the event gets underway at Murray Barracks Oval in Port Moresby.
The initiative was started to get the members of the PNG Defence Force unit spread throughout the country to be together at least at one time in one place in the year of our calendars.
Commander Toropo highlighted the event as a significant moment for the soldiers, as members of the PNGDF have gone on to represent the country in various sports on international level.
As you have noted over the years, PNG Defence Force has contributed many sportsmen and many sportswomen to some of our major events. Most notably, some of our PNG's representative football players came from the PNG Defence Force.
Minister Merisim took the opportunity to announce the next tournament to follow the Commanders Cup.
To strengthen this initiative further, I am now announcing another sporting event for PNG Defence Force to be held over 2 years starting in 2018. And that is Defence Ministers Soccer Cup.
That rugby tournament draw was then conducted at the occasion, with teams slotted into pools A and B by their respective division heads.
And Commander Sir, please, if you can pick the first team. You will see the aggression, you will see the fitness, you will see the enthusiasm, different units coming together to show the esprit de corps that is established not only within their respective units, but the time everyone comes together, it's the spirit of the PNG Defence Force in one event.
Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
Paris and Los Angeles will be the next host of the Summer Olympics after Tokyo. With no one else bidding for the Games, winners were announced. It will be the second time Paris has hosted 100 years after the first Olympics. For Los Angeles, it will be their third time. And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details when we come back.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
Your weather forecast for tonight in the southern region: becoming cloudy with a chance of light rain drizzle on Port Moresby, mostly fine although cloudy and windy in Daru, cloudy with a few light rain showers in Kerma, cloudy with some rain showers in Alotau, and becoming cloudy with some rain showers in Popondetta. In the Mamasa region, becoming cloudy with a chance of few rain showers in Lae, mostly fine although partly cloudy in Medang, and cloudy with some rain showers in Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, some rain showers in Lorengau and Kavieng, cloudy with some thundery showers tonight in Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, and becoming cloudy with a shower or two in Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, a few showers tonight, then morning fog in all centres.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Thursday the 14th of September. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.